I also have a preschool, kindergarten in that area, and so we went there to visit. And it's the first time really that I've spent any length of time with the children since the school began in June, as it's not possible to go very often.
If this pre-primary or kindy was not here, these kids would be left by themselves for the day while their parents worked. They would just have to take care of themselves at this age. They would be responsible for feeding themselves and
a baby, perhaps.
And perhaps, yeah, at this age they would be looking after another baby when the parents would be away.
At the preschool we got to see the kids and talk with them and share story with them, sing songs.
It was really sweet because it was like the next generation of the Korean kids that our kids were teaching, and they were just showing them some songs and a couple different games, and the little preschool kids did their song, and it was just really adorable. Felt pretty special, you know, that they were just sort of giving back to where they came from and encouraging the next generation of kids that are coming up.
Like 5 years ago, and 50 kids is coming to this side. When they come, they just stand like a row and no talking, because I stay in the house and the Burma student said my student already arrived. I think no one arrived because I did not hear anything.
Well, they came, you know, and they were very quiet, they were very shy, they were withdrawn, serious, as we expected they would be.
And then when I go to see them, they just look to you, no smiley or anything of that. And even you go to talk to them and they do not talk to you, they just look you very seriously, like they are something very heavy or very scary, or they just scare like they will think what happened with me, what will happen with me, and they stay like that for maybe a few weeks. We try to live there and keep that like very closely. Yeah, we try to go to talk with them, eat with them.
Within 2 weeks they began to change. They knew that they were somewhere so different, and that was what was amazing to them. They would look around and wait for punishment, or they would look around and expect that they would be in trouble, or where they had been, they still used the stick, if children were not good. But when they realised that there was no punishment coming, they just began to really loosen up. One night, Dede, we were having worship, and one of our staff, he just began to speak about how much God loved him, how he knew that he was so loved. It was very, very powerful. And when he finished, I really felt I needed to offer to these children, and I said, who wants to have what Dede's got in his life? And they just rushed forward to sit at my feet. And it was really awesome. There wasn't one that sat back. It was a rush to come forward. They knew they'd heard something that was different. They knew they'd heard something they had never heard before, a love that they had never come in contact with. And it just so radically impacted them. And they came forward and we just prayed for them. And they were never the same again. It just was like this gigantic leap forward for them, because the things of the past began to fall away from them, and they knew that they had a new future.
Deep down inside of me, I really believe that we're here to love one another, that it's not just something that you can hear as a cliche. I honestly, in the core of my value and the core of my being after having lived a life that was so selfish for me in Australia, and coming out and realizing that there's different levels of giving of yourself, and there's a point where you give all of you until there's nothing left, and you realize that that is where unconditional love is met, and there is no greater love. That's the most important thing for a child, is to feel loved. And so that love will see that child grow to be someone that is confident and someone that is significant in this world, someone that will be somebody, someone that will see challenges and imagine and dream, and all those things are created out of being in a situation of love. And so I really do believe at the core of it all that we as a people are to love one another unconditionally, that there are people out there waiting to be loved, that are waiting to feel the complete acceptance of what it means.
In the relationships, you know, in many of the homes, with many of the parents, there's been a tremendous amount of breakdowns and even parent suicide since we've had children here. You know, really, really traumatic things, because life is so difficult and they do not have hope. Now these kids, they have hope.
When I grow up, I want to be doctor, leader and teacher. I want to help people in the world.
There's a lot of love here, and I think that's made a tremendous difference to them. They just begin to really understand what joy is, and to have joy, to know what it is to play, to be kids, to be carefree. You know, as Christians, we can hope for the impossible. We can believe and dream for great things, and we've really encouraged our kids to dream and to hope for a future that's very, very different.